Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and today I want to go over the Extraction Lost Sector. I'm going to run it on Master. Legend is basically just going to have a couple less champions. Not a lot really is going to change though on it. Mainly a couple less champions in the platform room, and I think one less unstoppable in the final room with the wizard. Now, this is a casual, unfriendly Lost Sector, or unfriendly Lost Sector for casuals. And I don't mean it casuals, new players, people who don't have a whole bunch of options. The main reason is you have Overload, which already limits us to Divinity, which I know 95% of people don't have, or auto rifles and SMGs. You're like, okay, so I got an auto rifle. Then I need Unstoppable. Okay, so you need a pulse rifle or a hand cannon or a glaive. Glaive is risky, especially at master difficulty, so now we're down to pulse or hand cannon. All right. Then the burn is arc. So favorably, your heavy weapon should likely be arc to take advantage of the damage that you'll get out of that. Okay, so you got arc there. What are you going to use for your heavy? Well, what is something that most people might have? A rocket launcher? Grenade launcher, maybe? I doubt most of you have a tarantula. I used one in the last video, but I'm trying not to do that. So I grabbed I grabbed a rocket launcher. I feel like most people probably have an arc rocket launcher, maybe in some way, possibly. But having your heavy be arc is an important piece. The other thing, you have arc and void shields, and you need a consistent way to take out each of them, because the arc shields are going to be knights in the second room, and those are going to be spread out all over the place. So if you say go arc subclass, you're going to need to be able to have a consistent, you're going to be waiting on your grenade maybe, or you're going to be using your heavy. And then if you use your heavy, you're using your rockets on regular knights just to break their shields. That's not very efficient ammo usage unless you're swimming in ammo bricks, which maybe you're lucky. An alternative would be a machine gun. Theoretically, you got more ad clearing, good amount of damage output, probably break the shields more frequently for all the bullets that you've got. That could work. Then you've also got void. Void shields in the first room are going to be the raiders, and you need to be consistent to take those out. Maybe you go void like I am with this run, so I can have some of the void 3.0 potential. You've got some void volatile rounds, maybe a void grenade, and I can use my void grenades for a backup for overload, which is not a bad thing to have. So all of this leads me down a path of basically saying you should probably just use hard light. And I know not everybody has that, but to have a consistent way to go overload champions, you've got the range of this weapon, and on top of that, it hits arc, solar, and void. So then your pulse or hand cannon can be up here for the few times you need it. You can use this one for the void shields when you need it. You can switch it over to arc to take advantage of the burn for more damage on the basic ads and the champions if you just want to melt them down with this. And then it opens this slot up for some type of arc heavy that you want to use. So this is a weird one, and I'm just sitting there thinking through this in my head that the average person is going to struggle with this one. If you have a whole lot of loadout options, you've been playing for 2 years, yeah, you're probably going to be okay. But if somebody walks up to this and sees this, this is going to be a struggle. So let me show you my run through this one on Master. You may die, I probably will, but I'm going to explain the best I can in ways to get through it. So here we go. One more thing before we load in. I did go pulse. You could go hand cannon, really whatever you're comfortable with here. I finally just got my peace of mind, so I'm working on it. I am using an arc rocket launcher. Just make sure your heavy is arc. And then make sure you've got your scavenger, and make sure you've got your ammo finders on so you can start seeing those bricks. The other thing I cannot stress enough is the resistances that are going to help you stay alive. Arc resistance, solar resistance, and void resistance. You're going to want all three because there's enough things in here that are just going to hurt you. Now I'm running volatile flow. I'm running well of tenacity, which I barely get any wells in here, but if you do manage to get one, it keeps you alive a little longer. I'm running ultimate elemental time dilation. I am running overload grenades for void, so that is my backup to my auto rifle. Font of Might, again, I don't think I got a whole lot of void orbs in here. And then a Reaping Wellmaker. The Reaping Wellmaker is actually probably your best one, because after activating your class ability, which we all have, your next weapon will spawn a Void Elemental Well. So if you are going Void Elemental Well, that's actually a good one for a consistent basis, because you may not always get the kills, or the grenades, or the weapons, but that's always a nice way to at least get one every so often. So I wanted to touch on the mods real quick. So again, let's load this thing up, and I will see you guys on the inside. And if you die on this one, just be patient. If you're going for flawless, this one's going to be a bit of a struggle, but here we go. Hello, Guardian. Yeah, you watching this video. We've all been there. Passing time online at the DMV, waiting for your host to call your name at a restaurant, Or in that little room at the doctor's office where it seems like time no longer exists? Well, you've all been there before, but you know what you have in all those places? Your phone. Why don't you take that out and check out Raid Shadow Legends so you can get started building out your team of champions so next time you're stuck, you can actually escape to the world of Teleria. And you all know we like a good challenge in our games, and Raid is no exception, because the Doom Tower is the epitome of in-game content. Basically, it's a huge prison holding lots of bad guys that's been there for thousands of years. It was only meant to last as long as the Arbiter needed to find a way to get rid of the enemies, but it's still there, and it seems the work isn't done yet. It's up to us to put those nasty creatures back in their cells and fight our way to the very top and face some of the toughest bosses Raid has to offer. Some remove your buffs, while others ignore them entirely. Some drain your champions of their turn, while others need their health lowered before you can even do damage to them. You're really going to have to think outside the box to get all the way to the top of the tower. Honestly though, this game is great. Awesome graphics, over 600 champions you can customize with unique gear and skills, and a huge campaign, and more. But I've talked enough about it. How about you try it? It's the best time to start as a new player in Raid, because if you click my link in the description or scan my QR code on screen, you're going to get $30 worth of bonuses like an epic champion hyena, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard to summon your own epic champion as soon as you log in. All of this will be waiting for you right here. Remember, this is only for the next 30 days, so click that link and you'll be on your way to the top of the Doom Tower in no time. And remember, if you do click that link, it is a nice way to support me as a content creator, so thank you guys for the support, and now back to the video. Alright, so when you start out, you can switch over to Arc if you've got Hard Light, mainly because you'll get more damage for a little while, till you start seeing the Raiders that have those Void Shields. When you see those, stay on Void until all of those are gone. So first little group is down. A lot of stuff is going to start showing up. And for a little while, Lot's just going to jump to this little platform here. See if you can kind of stun it and kill it right here on this front little corner. There's your Raiders. These are your important things that have got to die. Whatever happened to the Raider damage, it's just like massively higher than I think it should be, and they're lethal. So if they sneeze at you the wrong way, even if it's not the right burn, they'll kill you. And again, watch for them to pop just straight in front of you, so be ready if they do to get them down. And just stay back here. No reason to rush this start. Seems like we still got some more stalkers. There's like a couple more Raiders, but those tend to actually stay on the left over there. So give them a bit. Watch the grenades. Those things will happen a lot more frequently, and the outtakes that you'll see a little bit later and right towards the end are also going to include just a random grenade death, and an arc grenade will kill you. Just straight up, you're dead. Really no question about it. Void grenades will hurt, but arc grenade, whew, that one stung a lot. But I have void resistance on to take care of these guys. They'll also kill you. Now, once you feel like it's just you and that champion left, which we're getting close, then I can switch back over to Arc. But we're not there yet, because they're hiding. And we have some stuns, and I have a fire turret coming at me, and it's fun. Pull back. Okay, we got 2 turrets, we got fire, we got tracker beam. May as well throw the void one over there by you for the defense, and you'll be getting the trifecta. That chieftain's about to pull a hat trick on me and just make things real fun. Alright, that should be the last raider, so now I am on void. Now, stunning a void champion, or stunning a overload champion is very frustrating with an auto rifle. You pretty much cannot stop firing. Now I can kill him with this thing. It's going to be slow. I can. Now, if you are running Void 3.0, you can switch and throw that grenade in between, but you're not really going to get a chance to do anything but fire. Because if you let off for just a little bit, the way the overload stun works, it's going to hurt a lot. Because you're going to have to start all over. So if you don't keep this pressure up of overload, or have an overload void grenade, you're in trouble. So yes, you can kill them with an auto rifle, which does open up your options for your heavy slot to literally anything you want. But just showing you guys how that process works. Slow and tedious. Now the next room, you're going to have a lot of ads. Leave it on arc, because you'll get more damage and you have no more void shields. But enough void shields in that room, it would be annoying not to have void shields on a consistent way to kill him. Now in here, with hard light and arc damage, with the range of hard light, you're going to be clearing some ads for a little while. You're going to be doing this a lot. Now, there's one thing you can do. If you really want to get a little gutsy and you clear out one of these sides, because there's going to be enough stuff going on here for a little while. You don't need to clear everything. But a lot of it's just going to come to you. But there's going to be some stuff going on. Now, what you can do, this is going to be a dumb experiment, but it's going to take a minute before I can even try it. See that Void Ogre over there who wants to just delete my life force? Yeah, you want him dead. So don't mess with anything until he's gone. But you got some scoring up in there. They're trying to get in the mix. If he's pulled aggression off of you and you can move cover, right. But he needs to die. And that was a whiff. It's beautiful. Now these guys hurt more than most. Why? Because they are actually arc. And this is where you need to kill the big guy who's not going to let me take a big chunk of damage out of him. Now he's dead. Took 3 rockets to do it. Alright, big guy's down. Now your other main issue is going to be your knights. Because their arc and the boomers just hurt. They just do. And remember, if you see one of those little butterflies go in the air, try and take it out. I love how I can't hit these guys, but they can nearly nail me perfectly. Yeah, the Void Knights or the Arc Knights are something else here. They just really are. Now, if you got, like, I don't know, machine gun of Arc, that's probably going to put in some damn good work here. Linear fusion rifle, I would just delete the guys. But if you get a chance to kill one of those, I'll fire a whole clip to make sure he dies. Try not to put that shield back up. There we go. The knights are annoying, and they just hurt so much. What's up, Mr. Butterfly Man? Kill the butterfly. Butterfly, focus. Shout out to you guys watching. Remember, you can use code Ebontis30 at advancedgg.com if you guys want to pick some of that up. It is going to be valid through the 29th, so you got a couple more days. Now, you might not be done with everything, so don't assume that you are. So again, pull back. Every enemy you want dead before you start touching these plates. Because every time you touch a plate, you're going to spawn... Each time you touch a plate a first time, you're going to spawn a chieftain. And then you're going to spawn some ads to go with it. So my advice, whether it's a healing rift, hanging behind cover, whatever you're going to do, I'm not going to use my barricade, but I generally would. You're going to want to find the chieftain, stun it quick, and then try and get whatever defense you can out there. So if I'm going to throw a grenade, that's a void grenade that'll help stun. That'll keep things busy. But if you feel like you're going to get overwhelmed, I want him dead. I want that chieftain dead so bad, and he's going to get his health back. No! I want that chieftain dead so bad, it's not even funny, but he's going to get his health back, and I'm going to die. Don't touch that plate. Don't touch that plate. Oh, I spawned another champion. Every time you touch a plate, you spawn a champion. So now I got 2 of them in the room. Now, if you need to pull back, you can go literally back to the previous room. And you can slowly clear out all these ads. It's going to take a little while. Maybe get some ammo thrown at you, though. But yeah, it's going to be a minute. You're going to have a little bit of a process here. We'll be able to get, hopefully, my void grenade back if I do want another bonus stun. But yeah, this is why hard light can work. An auto rifle from this far away is not going to be that effective, but hard light's lack of damage drop-off actually does make it a viable option for putting in a little bit of work. And every so often, you're just going to be like, okay, would you leave me alone for 5 seconds, please? So stun him and clear some of the ads near him. That's one piece of advice. Watch all the turrets of fun. Now, if you do get him stunned and you kind of got him isolated, now you can start putting in some work. It's going to be slow. But watch how he's firing at you. And just keep the damage on. Now, if you got heavy sitting out there and you feel like your rocket's reloaded, I can go for a big pop. Make sure you keep that overload damage on. And there's one. There's still one more floating out there on the other side of the room that I got to kill. But yeah, if you want to just spawn all the champions, you could literally just touch all the plates, get all the champions spawned, and then you're just dealing with the little guys. So yeah, there's the other champion spawn. So we're just going to knock out all the champions. Get that part over with. The whole process. I'm just going to let it stun, and we got more ads coming at me. Melee guys are really aggressive. And again, this is not going to be the fastest method. I'm trying to do this basically flawlessly, because I did finish it earlier on Legend, and then I should have finished it, but one arc grenade killed me. I will warn you, the arc grenades in the following room are lethal. So lethal. Again, mostly just clearing ads. Each of the chieftains tends to stay near the plate that you spawned them for. So like the middle plate, the chieftain for that one's going to hang around somewhere in the middle. Now, he's probably going to hang somewhere, you know, he might float either way, but he's going to be towards the middle, and each side is going to be towards their respective sides. So once most of the ads are down, then you'll be able to focus up. And there's our chieftain, as I said. Make sure your heavy's up for the chunk of damage if you're ready for it. If he's got his invulnerability void up, you need to go ahead and break that thing. Now, I'm going to throw a grenade because that's also going to do overload stunning possibilities because I'm running Void 3.0 and I've got the artifact mod on. So it helps with the overload continual stun, which is important. Now, if I get him that low and I got a rocket, delete. One more champion, and then we just got to activate each plate, which is just going to be little guys at this point. So, as I've got all the champions out, and I'm not even going to mess with the other champion, standing here, you're going to have guys spawn. Your goal, find the guys, and then kill them quick, if you can. Because they're all going to get aggressive towards the plate that you're standing on. And if you move, the grenades might not actually be coming towards the same exact spot the entire time. Now, if you feel like you're going to die, the progression on the plate does stay. It just is going to cause the enemies to respawn when you go for the finish. But if you feel like you're going for a flawless run, or you run out of time taking the tedious and slow like I am, you're going to want to run the patient style like I am. Now that platform's almost done. No more champions are going to spawn, but... Sorry, I had to itch my nose. Basically going to pop here, but we did get more ads to spawn, just because we literally had to stand on it again. So the longer you can stand on the platform each time, so you only have to, per se, maybe stand on it twice, that's going to make your process a little bit shorter. But if you get to the point where you got to run and bail, it's easier to be safe and not waste your time. This is not going to be an efficient master run. Legend wasn't too bad, honestly. Legend didn't hurt nearly as much. But Master, I'm not going to recommend farming Master on this one because you guys are going to see how long it takes me to do this and not die. Now, if I was caring less about dying, I would probably pop my super on one of these, which again, I'm not trying not to pop my super so you guys don't depend on it. That's one of those weird things that I do. That way, this is hopefully a video that can be used by any class in a way that hopefully makes sense. Now, I still have that far champion over there. I know he's there. Don't touch the platforms, again, if you're playing like with a champion, because you will get him to spawn up. More ads. But if it's just me and a champion, it's not going to be so bad. And again, if you start putting work in on a champion, your goal then is to not stop firing until you get him down. And again, using a little bit of cover like I'm doing right now is going to help. It's going to help you stay alive, going to help you be able to focus, and then if I can... See, that's that point where you do not want to stop firing, because if I took the time to try and reload that rocket, he would probably get his health back. So I just had to make the decision right there. Hadn't reloaded, which I should have before I started this fight. But now I know I'm basically alright. Alright, rockets up. Now, this would be a good time to use like an ad clearing super, if you got one. But if you're looking for your ads, they're going to be coming. This is the middle one. This is the hardest because it comes from every direction. So if you feel like you're in trouble, now's the time to bail. Head off to one side. Find your cover. And again, this same cover over here works till these ads are clear. Watch the grenades. They are frequent. Watch your melee kamikaze guys. Yeah, this is what it's like. And I'm like 1572. So yeah, if you're not relatively high level, don't even mess with Master on this one, because standing on that plate, you'll probably die, and then when you run out of time, which I'm getting close to doing, then you would have to start all over for nothing. So, my advice, don't mess with Master unless you are 100% ready to. Now this one, hopefully I can manage to get the rest of it down. Got some more ads coming. Now that's my void shield doing some work for a change. And if you guys want to line up for my auto rifle bullets, I'm not going to argue, but don't always expect they're going to be this nice. One more. And I think I'll be alright. This one shouldn't take as long because I've already made some progress. Oh, this one's actually done. Alright, so that is all three because I got the first one. But that's what I'm kind of trying to show and explain. Again, this is a slow process. We got a minute left and we still got to do the next room. We're going to have 2 champions in the next room, but you can do this in partial at a time. Every time you step on each platform, that is when your champions will spawn. After that, manage it how you are comfortable and take your time, especially if you're going for a flawless, or at this point, you run out of time, you know you got to take it slow. Now, the next room, you're going to see some champions. You can get a chunk of damage on them, that's good. If they follow you down the hallway, be careful. Now, there are no more overloads, so I'm just using that grenade so I can get some easy damage while I got to reload, and I saw him there. Biggest thing about overload champions, if you stun them and get out of their line of sight, typically they won't follow you. I say typically because apparently that is not actually that accurate. Or that could have been the other guy who saw me and now chases me down. So there are 2. Now, all the arc shots in this next room, basically consider them all lethal, especially because I don't have revives anymore. So your goal first is to find your champions. Not the wizard. That wizard will kick your butt. Now, I don't know where these champions tend to wander off to, but they do tend to wander. Now, if you do take a... Now, be ready with the pulse, because you want to be able to stun a champion if he does come wandering. Found the champion, at least. Now, he will tend to pull back, but if you can get him walking to you, get a stun on, get a rocket in his face. Now, that probably didn't kill him. Now, he may be coming for me, so I got to be ready. Yep. Go for that stun. Use the cover here. And I can even finish him just because I'm back here in the hallway. Now, the final thing you've got to do is kill the boss. Problem with the boss? 1, it's arc. It's going to hurt like crazy. And 1 grenade from an acolyte will just straight up kill you. So your goal first is to find your acolytes and delete those. And creeping into this room is just beyond risky. Because there's a lot of guys who just tend to wander around down there. So try and clear out as many of the acolytes because their grenades literally deleted one of my runs. I was literally right here about the same time, out of revives, grenade at my feet, done. Now, the wizard shots hurt. Notice? Half health in like half a second. So when she finds like a way to get to you, you need to just like literally jump over the door and maybe switch to the other side. Now, I'm just going to try and put some basic damage in. Use that grenade you got every so often. Try and clear out some ads, maybe. But don't think you're safe. Nothing in there is safe. Because arc everything, those grenades... I say that, 1 landed on my feet and I was just toast. I was just like, come on now. That seems unfair. But again, if you need to switch sides of the door, jump up and over, it's going to be the only way I recommend to do that. If you got a healing rift, if you got invisibility, whatever you're going to do, that doorway is basically like the plague. Avoid it. Now, I've got a decent amount of heavy. I've also got some in the previous room. So, I'm going to try and get chunks. Now, she has healing rifts. That is a thing. She will typically not come in here, though. So, you can do a little bit of this from range. And if you kind of line up the doorway, you get a safe spot. You can put in a little bit of work, but running in there to finish the ghost, also very risky. Because of stuff like that over there. Find a curse throw, I'll use those arc explosions, because those will kill everything around it. Now those butterflies, or those moths, those will also hurt a lot, if not kill you. In a bad spot there. Now, the health is still staying relatively low. I do have a rocket I can go for here. Rocket whiffs, unfortunately. It's an airborne target. It's tough. Now, that's going to be a chunk. Now, the issue is getting her low enough that you feel comfortable to possibly go finish her. But if I die while I finish her, I'm screwed. So I got to make sure everything in this room is gone. You want to kind of pull up to the doorway, see if you can pull anything else, ad-wise or otherwise. Be careful if it's in normal mode. The shots on that one almost hurt more. Like that. But I will say, if you do kill the wizard, you got to be ready to go in and go for it. Now, notice the health is back. That health is mostly back because of the healing rift that it actually gets to use. Now, if you can kind of head glitch it and kind of shoot it in the body, it's not a bad way. That way you're not getting tagged too bad. But again, that healing rift up there can definitely help it, not you. I'm trying to do this in a steady state. These rockets tend to miss, and I'm trying to keep it off its healing rift over there. If you kill it, be ready. And then if you got to pop your super when you go to kill it, that would actually be my recommendation, because you got better damage mitigation. And honestly, it's just going to be safer. And that grenade might put in some work. Okay, see, I got a curse thrall around the corner. So again, I've got to come up here and try and kill this ghost and hope nothing's in here. If that happens, be ready to move. But you could pop your super and pop a ghost. And that's it. So that is a wrap for the Extraction Lost Sector on Master. Legend is much more manageable. The Overload champions in the second room do not spawn. They're just kind of chieftains, so they're a little annoying, but they're not nearly as bad. And you only have one Overload, or one Master. Oh my god, I almost died talking to you guys. That guy was going to ruin my video. And then in this room, you only have one Unstoppable champion. You don't have two. So, before I get killed by a random Cursed Thrall, I did get an exotic on this run, so bonus. Did it without a fire team, and we did it without dying. So that is a wrap on Extraction. Again, this loadout works for me. If you guys have loadouts that work for you, please comment those below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like below. Leave a comment on this video. Again, if you just want to say hi as well, find me on Twitch, find me on Twitter. Right here, if you guys haven't subbed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. And those of you who are YouTube members or Patreons, thank you very much. You are all amazing, though. Have a good one.